Give On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. We leave no warrior behind. Wounded Warrior Project is a non-profit organization created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war. Whether those scars are physical or mental, we're here to make sure that they heal. And whether it's helping those with post-traumatic stress disorder live a normal life again, or giving much-needed support to injured warriors in veterans' hospitals. Because no one deserves our help more than the men and women who risk their lives to keep us safe. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bonzi. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello.
Hi, I'm Dua Lipa.
Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Lau.
Hey everyone.
This is Salada.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R.
What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to DaBooth312 on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago.
And this is fresh.
Paying for insurance may not be on your favorites list, but paying more to cover the cost of insurance fraud only adds to the frustration. Some people cheat their insurance companies a little, exaggerating a claim or adding to the items that were supposedly stolen when the car was broken into. But some people make a living out of cheating insurance companies. For example, they stage auto accidents and claim injuries that never happened. They file phony workers' compensation claims to collect unearned wages and payments for medical bills. Or contractors intentionally do shoddy repair work after a storm or no repairs at all, as long as they get paid up front. Most doctors, lawyers, and contractors are honest, but the dishonest ones look at insurance companies as easy targets and rip them off to the tune of billions of dollars every year. And guess who pays for their crimes? You do. Help us make them pay. Each year, we help law enforcement put hundreds of insurance fraudsters out of business. If you know something about insurance fraud, call us at 1-800-TEL-NICB. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
Reaching the World Entertainment presents The Booth. Check us out every Sunday on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Download that free app, tune in, and get the best sounds of the underground with The Booth.
Hey. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Are you trying to sound like the dude on Family Guy?
Well, hello.
We're here. Well, hello.
Ron, do that too well. Do it again.
Hello. Hello. You got my pantses.
How about
you
some
in my
grape jelly?
pantses? All right, let's start.
How about some grape jelly?
Grape jelly. Grape jelly.
No
and jam.
strawberry.
Give me that jam.
What up, man? What's up, everybody?
What's
We're
going on,
clowning. Hey, we don't want LGBTQ and all the alphabets coming after us for tripping out. We just having a good time.
ABC.
A, 2, 3. They coming at you A to Z. No. So anyway, we are back, man. And we appreciate everybody for tuning in. We got a nice show planned for you today, as usual. As usual.
If you didn't know, well, now you know.
Yeah, if you didn't know, now you know. You know, I missed you guys for a few days, you know, well, a couple of episodes, well, 1 or 2 episodes. You know, my dad is, you know, battling, man, with this cancer thing. So, anyway, man, you know, it sucks. You know, I'm praying for people out there that, you know, are dealing with this. I gotta send my sincerest condolences out to, you know, a legendary brother and somebody I've known for a long time in the music industry, from JM Silk, Keith Nunley. You know, his father passed away. So, you know, my prayers are out to you.
Condolences.
And your family, brother. I will call you just a few weeks before, you know, Byron Stingley, you know, lost a relative as well. So another one, 10 City legend, you know, lead singer, Byron Stingley. So, man, sending out my condolences to my friends, man, and keeping up with them.
You know, and not to take it off that subject, but since you mentioned 10 City,
I just read something that they're coming out with a new album.
Mm-hmm.
They're bringing them back together.
Right. Yeah, they're doing a reunion album.
Okay.
Well, we
and
had-
the whole
what's his name on it?
actually they're doing a reunion concert. They're trying to do the whole shebang.
Yeah, that's
Marshall
what I
brought it up when he was here.
Right.
That's right. Yeah.
Right.
Another group that just made a comeback, since we're talking about comebacks, Inner City just put out a new album. I have two of the tracks with me today.
Good Life.
The Good Life people, and you could hear a little bit of that track in the new stuff, but they're back. So welcome back, Inner City.
Whether they going to appeal to the young crowd, though.
Dave, hand me a pretzel.
They have some tech house tracks, so they are trying to appeal to the younger crowd.
Okay.
So, and we got snacks in the station here for us, you know. But yeah,
Not sponsored by.
Not sponsored by, but eaten by me.
But you know, anytime we get a loss of life like that, and I take my hat off to any and every family member, you know, that's dealing with ill relative out there, and you know, this cancer thing it's always been a beast. You know, I've lost many relatives to cancer too, so you know, just even the healthiest people still come down and find out that they have cancer. So it's not about totally what your diet is or your lifestyle.
People don't realize that actually it's semi-genetical in the sense that a cancerous cell can stay in the body and not go active for many, many, many years. And if it's not tested properly, and the fact is, and you know, we've seen this where doctors don't look at it right. And I actually, since we're on this subject, my wife's girlfriend just lost her husband to cancer. And I guess they didn't catch it soon enough because the doctors were not looking close enough. It was there and I guess past tests and everything. And the doctors didn't see it, quote unquote. So by the time it finally was recognized, it was too late. But if they're not looking properly and don't know really what they're looking for, they may miss it because it's so minute or whatnot. But that, you know, can't stay in the body. Now, again, you can't believe everything you see on social media. Damn near 1% you can believe. But, you know, we keep seeing that there's these new medicines and new treatments that are coming out that can catch this really, really early on now. And I'm hoping it's true. But again, you know, the cancer cells can sit dormant in a person's body.
If you're getting your checkups, I mean, and I'm guilty. I got to go do the colonoscopy. But you know, and my wife just did hers.
And
I did I've had the prostate thing.
With both the prostate and the other test that you just said, colonoscopy.
Will Smith did his live.
Wow. Well, they got a new one.
And they found a cancerous cell, but they caught it in time. Yeah.
Dave brought up the whole glove thing. There's a new way that they do it, according to my father, who was just going through his routine checkup thing. And they don't have to do that anymore. They can have you take a medication, and it's, I don't know if you have it.
Like a dye kind of a thing.
Kind of, something like that. And they could tell that way. They don't have to do the finger thing. Because I was like, no. That's why.
So with that said, if they do the finger thing, there's an
you talking
hidden
about for the
agenda
prostate?
behind it?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't have to go through that. No, they
What did you say?
they
well,
tested.
hey, if the doctor could do that, and he decides, no, we're going to go the old school route.
Yeah,
Well, there might be
they
something behind
tested
that.
mine through blood. You know, your blood to tell. Yeah, it's a certain level. Now, one thing they did warn me on is and I don't keep my health secret. They warned me on, you know, my kidney level was supposed to be at 7, and it was at 0.8. So they want to make sure that I'm not having any issues with that. And I also got to send out, you know, prayers and concerns, you know, for people that may know him. Some of y'all may not know him. I mean, I'm just speaking to the local Chicago house community, you know, for, you know, Jamal Cheers, who suffered total organ failure, you know, and he's been in a coma. So, you know, prayers going out to that brother as well. They call him J Mella, DJ Mella, the heavy D fella, you know, and he was responsible for really kicking off a lot of the suburban house parties and bringing Farley out to the suburbs before it was even a thing. So, sending a shout out to him as well, for good health and all that. And again, our regular follower and brother, Jackie Graves, man, he had a successful surgery. He's been going through a lot as well. And he's constantly on Facebook, updating us on his health and praying. So, man, much love out to Jackie, too. So, man, we are getting older.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, well, we're getting older, man, but it doesn't mean you got to go down hard. You know what I'm saying? You just keep yourself in shape and do the best you can with the
and live life to the fullest.
The vessel God gave you,
exactly.
And try and take care of your vessel. That's
really
all you can do.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I had an aunt and uncle that didn't smoke, didn't drink, ate healthy, this and that. Both died of cancer. You know what? You can live the healthiest life in the world and still die young. But if you're not living your life to be happy either, you're not living. And that's how I see it. If I'm, I came to a point where, I could do everything in the world that a doctor says that you have to do to live the best life. But if you're really not happy living, doing all the stuff you're doing, you're not living.
Yeah, so I was just talking to a friend of mine about that, about losing weight. And, some people might look at you and say, you don't need to lose no weight. Or, we can all tone up or whatever. But if you're not happy with your own skin, then, what's wrong? That you have to be happy with you.
Yeah. First and foremost.
And you are your own worst critic at everything.
Pretty much.
So.
And I think that's why, I had did a post that, we're the generation now, or the generation coming is they define themselves off of likes and follows. And if they're not getting liked and they're not getting followed, nobody's paying attention to them, then they equate that to their self-worth and value. And I thought that was the most insane thing in the world, that, there are actually kids or youth out here feeling like because they're not liking what I post or they're saying something about me on Facebook or Instagram, then I must not be worth it. Let me kill myself. You all better wake up. And, you youth that are listening, if you're listening, parents, if you are listening to us, please talk to your children and tell them they are worth more than social media.
That's
please.
Right. First and foremost.
We just had a young kid, for those who follow the news, young kid on Thursday walked into a school out in Los Angeles and shot up about seven students. And before he turned around and shot himself, and he just passed away yesterday. So, senseless killings, not feeling good about yourself, killing yourself. I mean, come on. I mean, it's getting to be like almost every month we're hearing about somebody doing a terrorist act, school violence, or, this teenager, committed suicide because they were depressed because they were getting bullied on social media. You can always turn off your page. You can always create an alias name and put something back up and have a whole different other personality. But the thing is, they're killing themselves, and it's not just the kids; it's young adults also who are doing it because, like you said, they're not sociable face to face, but they rely on their socialism to be on social media. And if they're popular on social media, then if it's putting money in your pocket, okay, but still it's not worth killing yourself. You could get another job. But if you're not making no money from this, sorry, delete that page. If people are bullying you, block them. There's so many things you could do, but don't take your life.
I hear you. All right, guys. Well, we're going to be going into a quick break. So what do you want? Come on now.
Go ahead.
He hit that right on the head.
Yeah, all right, Smoke. All right, guys. We got a great show lined up for you ahead. Stick around right here for more to come. We got Matt Dubspun from Vibnotic Recordings coming in. I'll be throwing down for you guys, so stick around. Vibnotic Recordings.
Vibnotic Recordings. So it's a record label?
Yeah, it's his record label, Vibnotic Recordings.
Vibnotic Recordings, Vibnotic Recordings, Vibnotic Recordings, Vibnotic Recordings, Vibnotic Recordings, Vibnotic Recordings.
One more time.
Vibnotic Recordings.
All right, guys. So stick around right here.
I didn't have a special guest. So. All right.
Well, you need the lollipops. All right.
Yeah.
Stay around right here for Morning Club on DaBooth 312, broadcasting from WIT 88.9 FM in Chicago and DaBoothRadio.com.
ask me no questions, then I will tell you no lies. My desires are simple, the truth is there in my eyes. Nothing is off the table, and there is no price to hide. I do it all for your pleasure, so take the pill and let's fly. My desires are simple, my desires are simple, my desires are simple. My desires are simple, so simple, so simple. My desires are simple, so take the pill and let's fly. If you ask me no questions, then I will tell you no lies. My desires are simple, the truth is there in my eyes. Nothing is off the table, and there is no place to hide. I do it all for your pleasure, so take the pill and let's fly. My desires are simple, my desires are simple, my desires are simple. My desires are simple, so simple, so simple. My desires are simple, so take the pill and let's fly.
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bozzy. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello.
Hey, I'm Dua Lipa.
Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Loud.
Hey everyone.
This is Salade.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R.
What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM Chicago.
And this is Fresh.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Booth 312, broadcasting from WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago and theboothradio.com. Hopefully, you guys are doing great, enjoying all this great music that we're being given and provided by all these wonderful, wonderful labels. We'll be having all that stuff up on our site. If you guys get a chance, go to theboothradio.com and check out all these tracks right there. And you guys can not only hear it, but also find out where to purchase them from. Speaking about great labels and great DJs with the labels, we have Matt Dubspun in the house right now. From Vibnotic Recordings, Matt and I go back quite some years, and so happy to make contact with him again and have him in the studio. And I'm sure it brings back a little bit of memories because this is where I met this guy from, was from the station here. So, Matt, man, thanks so much for coming in, bro.
It's a pleasure, Rob.
You know, it was really nice to finally get back in touch with you. And, you know, I was wondering what happened to you for a while. I was like, man, you went ghost. I couldn't find you. So what have you been up to, man?
Well, just working on music for the most part. I have a new release that just came out this Friday. It's vinyl. It's on Vibnotic. And I was trying to have the official release date for today because it's the 30th anniversary of the Velvet Revolution of the Czech Republic.
Oh, okay.
And being of Czech ancestry, I thought that would be kind of cool just to do something and have it released on a momentous day.
Oh, nice, nice. Oh, that's a sweet thing. What's the name of it again?
Hisela Draškovací hudba.
Say that one more time.
Hisela Draškovací hudba. Acidic groove music. That's how you say that in Czech.
Okay. Hudva, not kurva. Okay.
No. Hudba. That's
why I
Polish.
asked you. Exactly. I'm part Polish. So that's why when I heard that, I was like, wait a minute. Okay, I got you. Where can people get that from?
It's for sale at Gramophone, 606, all the online resellers too of vinyl like DJ.de or Juno Records or Red Eye Records in England.
Okay. So you do a lot of sales overseas, right? Is that what predominantly is where a lot of your sales are coming from?
Well, there's quite a bit of sales here in Chicago since Chicago's my home, and I've been here for doing music since 2004, but DJing back a lot further, 1987.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of connections that I've made throughout the years, and it just kind of flourishes from there. But yes, overseas and Japan too.
Nice, man. That's good. I'm really happy for you. You know, tell us a little bit more about Vibnotic Recordings.
Well, as you know, back in the day, well, actually, the way it started is this: because college radio for me is kind of an interesting history. Back in '91, I was invited to be on Kennedy King College's radio station, and and I played there through my senior year of high school. Then after that, I was at WCRX at Columbia College and WCYC over in Little Village from the Boys and Girls Club. But then I started coming here to IIT when it was WOUI back in 1996. And I had some shows with some friends and we had fun with it. But in 2001, I really started taking things a lot more seriously, and I started a radio show called Vibnotic, and that's why it's Vibnotic Recordings. I kind of left here to pursue doing the record label because I thought it was kind of a conflict of interest or something. So it's like, hey, I got a show, and hey, buy my record. You know, it's
Well, that's one great way to get your stuff advertised is on your own show. You know, so I mean, we got Derek Smokin' Jones, who's a producer, and you know, we get his music played. So I don't know if I would consider conflict of interest, but I understand where that could raise some eyebrows.
Yeah,
you know?
well, at the very least, it gives me more time to focus on working on music because it's very challenging.
So how long have you been a producer? You said you started
since 2004.
Okay.
2004 is when I started the label, and December of '04 was its first release, and that did considerably well. So I decided just to stick with it.
So what advice would you give those up and coming producers that are trying to get into producing music, period, not just house music, but just music, period? What kind of advice would you give that young guy or gal that's out there that's considering being a producer?
Well, could you elaborate on that?
So if being that you've been doing it since 2004, what guidance would you say, like, hey, words of advice, words of wisdom from...
Do what moves you. If you like it, other people are going to like it. Even if you don't like it, there's going to be some people that like it. So you have to just be true to yourself and work on things and persevere and not get caught up in any kind of drama.
You know, I think that was the best advice is exactly what you said, is be true to yourself. More than anything else, if you're not true to yourself and you're just doing everything for everyone else, I mean, what's the point behind it, really? I mean, people will find the phony in you, you know what I mean? So being true to yourself brings a lot because you have, everyone's got their unique flavor and everyone's got their unique feel on things. So, I think that's the best part of what you just said is really just be true to yourself more than anything else. Because everyone or anyone could be another Matt Dubspun. Not everyone could be Marshmallow. Everyone is themselves. If they're trying to be somebody else, then there's so much to be lost. I don't know, man. But
yeah, I hope that answered your question.
No, it did. I mean, we've had guys sit in that exact same chair, Marshall Jefferson, and ask, like, what kind of guidance would you give? And they've given their advice to any person that's out there listening that's considering being a producer, and your opinion is your opinion. So, I stand behind that, so we're just glad that you're here on the show with us today.
Yeah, I'm glad that you had me come out. I really appreciate it.
And you got history here. That's how things work in a big circle,
The studio's grown quite a bit.
It has, no. And it actually is repositioned, too, because back when Matt was here, the decks were on the other side over here of you. And
were they in this building or were they over?
Well, when we first started, it was another building.
Okay.
In the basement of another building, you had to hopefully get in sometime. Sometimes you couldn't get in right away. The headaches behind it, but the parties being up in the studio.
The headaches cause security with our parties.
Right?
I've heard about those.
We had a get together in the old station with Paul Johnson spinning. It was.
Oh, really?
It was a wild show.
Yeah.
Paul, where you at, man? We've been wanting to have you come back on the show too. So you got some former hosts that have hosted you at a party way back in the day that would love to have you back here. So give us a holler. So,
but yeah, we definitely we had some wild parties up there. I don't think we could do those same type of parties here, but
not with this glass studio.
No,
not with a glass studio. The eyes are always watching up in here. Walking by.
It was fun times though, fun times. But Matt, tell me a little bit more about Vibnotic Recordings. What genres do you guys do?
Well, basically, it's whatever I come up with. That's how it gets released. Because when you shop songs to other labels, they're looking for consistency of the titles. So, say your demo is 4 songs, and they're going to want all 4 to be very similar to each other. And creation doesn't happen that way. It might be that you create one song, and then 10 years down the road, you finally make another 3 that fit, that sound like it. And what I have is the luxury to release things when they happen. I try to give a dynamic in my releases where there's maybe you'll like side A1, or you'll like side A2. Or maybe you'll just like the last song on side B. It gives gives a variety of the people that buy it. But the music is deep house oriented and techno.
Okay.
And techno, not anything really hard. It's more melodic and deep.
So would you call it more minimal house than techno?
Yeah, it's minimal techno.
Okay.
And dubbed out house. This current release is all acid house. So
Nice.
I dusted off the 303. Spent some quality time with it, and I did that up. So
Okay.
I'm gonna play it in my set so you can hear some of it.
Now, another thing that I love about you is the fact that you stay true to the nostalgia of vinyl. And something we talked about too is you do not do the digital. You stay to your truth of vinyl. So, I mean, how does that feel? Because today's day and age, almost everything's digital nowadays.
Yeah.
So, what is your outtake on that? Staying true to that, because very few DJs still do that. That only stay true to just vinyl, and that's all they do. So, what kind of experience have you had among the world of the digital age now?
Well, I'm not going to say that I haven't tried digital. I have CDJs at home that have the thumb drives, and if the occasion arose, I'd probably spin on digital, but it's not very likely because the style of music that I do isn't mainstream. Even though there's releases for me included on Beatport and TrackSource, it's not really the music that I DJ with. What I put on vinyl is like what I play when I spin.
Okay.
So when you go shopping for records, it's different than going to Beatport because Beatport gives you a chart of the top 10 or the top 100 hottest releases. You go to a record store, there's some records on the wall that are new. You decide if they're hot or not, and you work with it. It's kind of like back when I started DJing, house music wasn't even cool to the mainstream. You wouldn't see white people jumping on the bandwagon with, oh, house music. Yeah, they'd actually make fun of it, and that's how it was for me when I got started. So it was an underground thing. And now, since everybody's a DJ with digital equipment, if it's a laptop or thumb drives or a controller, then it's kind of the mainstream thing. So what I do is counterculture. It's underground. So nothing wrong with turntables. They still work. Why change it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know a handful of DJs. We got one right here in the station, Dave C., who does vinyl sets. And, I learned on vinyl, and I take my hat off to you guys that are still doing vinyl because, we talk about it before, all of us as a group, the days of lugging them crates and crates of records.
It's not that bad.
It's a workout.
You have to be prepared. With digital, you can be lazy. It's like I have a gazillion songs on a thumb drive. What am I going to play? I'll play requests. Somebody will come up to me and they'll love me because I'll have the song that they're asking for. I look at people that come to me with requests. It's like, oh no, you didn't. You're not coming up here telling me what to do. Enjoy the art form of what it is, and there's the craftsmanship that I think is sadly lacking from the mainstream.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Matt, real quick, how can more people find out about you after you're hearing you today and everything? How can people find out more about you?
You can find me on Facebook. If you look up Matt Dubspun, that's DUBSPUN, at Facebook, you'll find me and we can chat.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'll tell you firsthand, this guy is really laid back, real cool guy. So, when he says, yeah, we could chat and everything, hit him up. Let him know what you think.
Do you have any upcoming events that you want to talk about? Let the people know.
There's some things in the works that are bigger for next year.
Okay.
Smaller events. I'm playing at Shady Rest in Pilsen on 18th and Throop.
Okay.
Or 18th and Troop, I'm sorry. That'll be on Black Friday, sometime in the afternoon. I'll be doing an exclusive vinyl set of whatever floats my boat. So you might get some hard techno, you might get some 80s alternative.
Okay.
You might get some deep house. Well, I know you're going to get some deep house.
And you might get hit in the jaw if you come up to him and request
Doing
something.
a request.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. All right, guys. So stick around right here for more to come, and you guys are gonna be checking out Matt Dubspun from Vibnotic Recordings live on the Booth 312, broadcasting from WIT 88.9 FM Chicago and theboothradio.com.
My medicine. I've been up and down and back around again. All the things I tried, except the simple truth, to let my feelings show and open up to you. So long I've been trying to fight the world. Damn wrong, everything I thought I knew. Hold on, tired of living with my fear. Let go, tired of holding back my tears. open up to you. My medicine. I've been up and down and back around again. All the things I tried, except the simple truth. To let my feelings show and open up to you. So long I've been trying to fight the world. Damn wrong, everything I thought I knew. Hold on, tired of living with my fear. Let go, tired of holding back my tears.
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bozzy. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello.
Hey, I'm Dua Lipa.
Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Lau.
Hey everyone.
This is Salada.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R.
What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago.
And this is fresh.
WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. Take one.
Behold the angry giant.
Try it again, Alberto.
Behold the angry giant.
Perfect. Good luck tonight.
Behold the angry giant.
Yay! Read me another one, Dad.
This is WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Introducing a new day of the week. It's called Someday. Now, everything you were going to do someday is on the calendar. Want to retire someday? You'll want a My Social Security account to help you get ready. Get yours at socialsecurity.gov.
Reaching the World Entertainment presents
Introducing a new...
Check us out every Sunday on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Download that free app, tune in, and get the best sounds of the underground with The Booth.
When the world turns round and round, the world turns round and round, the world
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bozzy. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello.
Hey, I'm Dua Lipa.
Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Loud.
Hey everyone.
This is Salady.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R. What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM Chicago.
And this is Fresh.
What's up? No, was that better for you?
Wow.
Was that better for you? They said last time I was like, you're too low, so I figured I'd come in a little louder.
Who told you that?
Both of you.
I didn't say nothing.
Y'all made fun of my voice. Told me I sound like, what was it? Soft Poo. What's his name? Soft Poo. Yeah.
I'm like, how y'all
Great
doing?
job, man. Seriously, man.
How y'all doing?
Great job, brother.
Yes, awesome set.
Oh, seriously? Thanks, bro. Appreciate it, bro.
He's giving
You
out
got to sign
vinyl.
them for us.
Yeah, he's giving out vinyl up in here.
Oh, okay, cool.
So for those vinyl lovers,
If you want, I'll give you the email if you want to start sending tracks to us.
Yeah, because
We
I'm
can
missing
add
the
it to our
camera. Hold on,
playlist
guys.
here, and I can add it to our website as well so people can hear it and purchase it. Okay, man.
You sure are live.
I didn't know we were going back live.
Yeah, we're live. Yeah.
okay, we could go back into music. He was starting to talk, but he was like, yeah.
I know Derek on smoking.
And spoken preacher here wants
Okay.
to talk, so okay, I get it.
No.
Well, we're getting some autographed vinyl in the house right now. For those that are
Come on,
wondering,
man,
like, what's
sit down,
going on? So we got autographed records being done.
So we got Mad Dub spun in. See, we don't even have all the cameras set up yet. Look at this. I mean, man, we're jumping into it.
Yeah. So we got autographed vinyl coming in, and we're waiting on Steve Aldrich to come in and talk to you about his rotary mixers and his design, Rotary Boutique. He'll be coming in with Glen Underground, so man, maybe we'll get a tidbit from them as well. So, hold on. Are you talking to me, Dave?
No, he was.
No
he
one's
was giving
talking
me
to you.
I thought Dave was giving me the finger, like, oh.
Oh, he's
So
giving you one of
anyway, so yeah, man, yeah. Let's get back. Let's get back focused. So anyway, man. Again, we got Glen Underground coming in, and we got Steve Aldrich, not Steve Austin, not the man, not the $6 million man. Yeah. But we're going to be also talking about, his mixers and his designs and his customs and his custom paint jobs. He's got an interesting story that, I guess I'll pass on, on the Bugattis and the Lamborghini cars, what they call the scissor doors that open up, he does a lot of those custom paint jobs.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's an awesome thing as well. And, his custom paint jobs are just ridiculous. He's also worked on a mixer that is going to have some special information for you, and I'm not going to pass that on. I'm going to let him do that when he gets here. They had to stop and get Glenn some cold medicine because I guess he's hacking and snotting all over everybody. So, we getting the Glen Underground. So anyway, moving forward, we will be, and I can't announce that. Dag, I got to keep waiting. So I was getting ready to give away some more goodies, All right, stay back, ladies. Stay back. I'm married.
He ain't giving away those goodies.
No, not those goodies. Not those goodies. Let's get back into what we were talking about earlier. Well, actually, we can kind of fast forward on a few things. Since we're into this whole vinyl thing, we were just talking about how the industry now is getting ready to go back to selling units of vinyl now. And I'm so excited. I'm like, ooh, man, you don't know how excited I am about this because I would rather sell units than MP3s any single day of the year. I would rather sell, which is probably going to force a lot of you guys to go out and get turntables and needles and all of that. And Sony is also launching their new Sony Walkman cassette player is coming back out. So think about it. And now the newer cars, I think the 2020 cars are going to come back with cassette players again, which is interesting. And this is why I tell everybody, how time just goes 360. Everything that was out comes back in. So now we're coming back to records. Now we're coming back to cassettes.
So we're going to have to get off of FM and go back on AM?
Probably, yeah.
No, that won't happen.
Yeah, right. You know, so I'm excited about that because, you know, you can calculate units better than you can MP3 sales, and MP3s can constantly get duplicated.
Well, you know, the funny thing too is talking about duplicating. That's like with the CDs. You know, you can keep ripping CDs and sharing it amongst people. But if you try to do it with tape, unless you have like original recording digital, you remember you couldn't go from tape to tape because it actually digresses it and it makes it bad. So I don't know. Maybe that might be a reason too, going back to tape.
Well,
I don't know.
well, now I'm having to jog that memory because you had the cassettes that were the high def ones, and if you're recording from that original, then you're gonna it will have a slight drawdown, but it still sounds crisp and clear. But when you recorded something from another cassette, you could definitely tell the difference.
Oh yeah, hands
Even
down.
if you had a stereo set at home that had the dual cassette recorders, you still could hear the slight difference. But when you recorded something from a vinyl record, I remember recording before I bought Purple Rain. I recorded the whole album.
Purple? You bought Purple Rain?
I had the purple, and I had the purple album.
Get out.
The one that was actual purple for Purple Rain.
Did you dress like them?
No, I couldn't find I couldn't find a ruffled shirt that fit me at that age because.
Did you hear the hairstyle when you had hair? I mean,
well, I never had straight hair. I've always had curly hair, so I never had it straight. But no little wave that came down in the front of my face. No, I had a kid and played box in high school though. I mean, I had a really high top fade. So.
I had a short one. I had the short fade back in was it 90s or so.
Okay. Kind of like.
What are you looking at me for?
A Vanilla Ice kind of. Vanilla Ice kind of flat top.
A little bit higher, but yeah. And then I started to grow a tail. The girls like that short tail, you know.
Well, they just had on Facebook.
I like big tail.
In other news, they had on Facebook one of the old Arsenio Hall shows with
where he used to wear a little ponytail.
Yeah.
Well, they had his interview with Vanilla Ice on Facebook. Somebody had reposted that interview, and this is when that whole drama was coming down where Vanilla Ice had some beef supposedly with MC Hammer, and he said on national TV, I ain't had no beef with MC Hammer, and they was like, we still gonna put it out there. And Arsenio said, this is my show. I'm gonna talk about what I want to. Because he's like, why are you bringing this up? Because it's my show.
Well, and that's a funny thing you said, because I saw another clip that was kind of like a behind the scenes clip. So it was before the pre-show, and a couple people went at him and said, hey, you never showcase any black people, you this and that. And he stopped talking to whoever he was talking to, walked up to the person and said, what are you talking about? And he started naming people that he brought on, you know, and what do you mean I never showcase black people? What do you mean this and that? What do you mean, you know? And he was going off. He said, and then he ended it exactly what you say. He said, by the way, this is my show, and I'll bring on whoever I want, whenever I want.
Right. Well, he being Arsenio Hall, if you didn't know, there's some more controversy with his name in it on Netflix. He just got paid some mega bucks to do stand-up. When was the last time you seen Arsenio Hall do stand-up? That's the question. I was like, wait, I had to think about that. Way before he had his own show, he was doing some stand-up stuff at the comedy clubs, but it was like old, like super, super old. And so he's coming back on Netflix, and the reason why there's been some controversy, the reason why his name came up, was because Monique was feeling, she's suing Netflix right now.
Yeah.
Because she feels
Who
that...
isn't?
Well, she said...
I think I'm going to sue him next week.
Well, give Nickelodeon a chance. They'll be doing it since they just got signed with
them in Disney. You know, why not?
Well, she's suing them because they offered her a $500,000 contract, but the other comedians, the male comedians, with Amy Schumer, got over $2 million to have her do a live stand-up show for Netflix. So she feels, you know, and one of the statements she said was, Arsenio Hall is coming back and y'all pay him a couple of million, but you won't pay me. So I feel you, you know.
The way I see it is just don't do it.
Well, go
You know, I
somewhere.
mean, if they're not going to give you what you feel your worth is,
True. I mean,
don't do it.
And
you know,
Apple TV just launched their network on Monday.
So she's going after racism and sexism.
There you go.
Okay.
We'll see where that goes. I mean, and we got Glenn Underground and them just walked in the house.
Yeah, it's about time. Come on, Oompa.
So he's pop rocking.
It's a lollipop gill. So we're gonna get going on this.
No lollipops in the station. No lollipop.
No
That is a rule.
lollipops. The legendary Glenn Underground in the house.
So,
Yep.
so we're still getting vinyl records signed.
And I'm eating apple fritter.
Apple fritter with Glenn Underground walking into the station. What up, Glenn?
what's up, sick boy?
GU. G Unit in the house.
So
What's going on,
guys?
Whoa. What's up, bro?
Hey.
And he got the Garanimal. He got the Garanimal crocodile.
Diving in. Diving in.
The Garanimals.
Garanimals.
Yeah, remember the
What do you
Garanimal crocodile from the shirt? He got a Garanimal hat.
It could have been an Izai, you know. It could have been an Izai.
See, we old school. We don't
Garanimals.
The Izai when they helped Lacoste become a company.
Right.
Company, though.
Polo.
But we're
Gucci.
So real quick, because I know we're going to be getting back into some tracks. Real quick, I just want to get it on the mic. We were talking about this this new rotary that we had here, and our guest here, Matt Dospun, got a chance to spin on. So make sure you guys stick around because we have the creator of this beautiful, beautiful item here in the studio, and we're going to get a first-hand, second-hand look at not only the creator's aspect, but also our guest DJ's aspect for using it today. So stick around right here for more to come on DaBooth312, broadcasting from WIT 88.9 FM in Chicago and DaBoothRadio.com.
So we started dancing and love put us
tell you no lies. My desires are simple, the truth is there in my eyes. Nothing is off the table and there is no price to hide. I do it all for your pleasure, so take the pill and let's fly. My desires are simple, my desires are simple, my desires are simple. My desires are simple, so simple, so simple. My desires are simple, so take the pill and let's fly. If you ask me no questions, then I will tell you no lies. My desires are simple, the truth is there in my eyes. Nothing is off the table, and there is no price to hide. I do it all for your pleasure, so take the pill and let's fly. My desires are simple, my desires are simple, my desires are simple. My desires are simple. My desires are simple, so simple, so simple. My desires are simple, so take the pill and let's fly.
Hi, I'm Clint Black. Have you heard of Rett syndrome? I hadn't until my niece Courtney was diagnosed. Rett syndrome is a neurological disorder which occurs mostly in girls. It's often misdiagnosed as autism or cerebral palsy. Rett syndrome strikes without warning. A girl with Rett syndrome starts out as a happy, healthy baby until 6 or 18 months of age, when something goes terribly wrong. She loses the ability to speak, use her hands to play with toys, or even feed herself. She may also lose the ability to walk. A girl with Rett syndrome makes constant hand washing or hand wringing movements. By the time she is 3 years old, a girl with Rett syndrome is severely handicapped. The International Rett Syndrome Foundation hopes to find the families affected by this devastating disorder and provide care and research that will make a difference. Research is urgently needed to accelerate treatments and find a cure. Please call 1-800-818-7388 or visit rettsyndrome.org today. Your help is our hope.
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bozzy. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello.
Hey, I'm Dua Lipa.
Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Lau.
Hey everyone.
This is Salade.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R. What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM Chicago.
And this is Fresh.
It's hard to keep track of all the health information that comes your way, but you still want to make the right decisions. Here's an easy one. Get tested for hepatitis C. It's a leading cause of liver cancer and often has no symptoms. People born from 1945 to 1965 are 5 times more likely to have hepatitis C. The good news is that now it can be cured. Talk with your doctor about getting a blood test for hepatitis C. Know for sure. A message from the CDC.
Reaching the World Entertainment presents The Booth. Check us out every Sunday on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Download that free app, tune in, and get the best sounds of the underground with The Booth.
What's up, Chicago? We are back, and as we promised, late than never, but you know, my boy here has been a little under the weather and he had to take care of himself first. But
I know he's got to sit next to me too, and he's sick, man.
Are you contagious?
You know, normally when a person is real sick, they ain't got they don't have an appetite. But Glenn came in here and said, "I'm hungry."
Man, Glenn's always got the munchies.
No lollipops. We ain't got no lollipops this time.
Derek was looking at me like,
no, you. And if I wish we had the clip when you was here that last time to play, because you was sitting back talking about, man, that was some good lollipops.
No, my part was Corky playing fast as hell. He was like, what is it? I could tell Glenn was gone in. He's Corky playing fast.
Twisted off that type of stuff. It's supposed to be slower. Everything was fast. I was like, man, I don't even do drugs. It felt like I did some real drugs.
Well, for those that don't know, we got Glenn Underground, the GU, up in the house.
Hey, what's up?
And he has brought some heavy hitters with him. Can you announce, please, who you got with you?
Right here. Oh, my bad. We got the Canadian A, Stephen Aldrich, Rotary Boutique. We got my cousin, Avon, Bad DJ, West Side, South Side, all sides, maybe the North Side, but you know, maybe.
Maybe. All right.
Okay. So, were we going to jump into this awesome rotary mixer we got sitting right here?
Yeah, we're going to talk with Steve a little bit, and I'm trying to get my mic out the camera. And Glenn is still hungry. So, you know, but anyway, Steve, tell us actually, first of all, how you got into even thinking about custom designing your mixers. What influenced you to do that? You know, because we also know that you're DJing. Was that part of it, or what happened with that?
Well, actually, it's a long history of, I'll keep it short, it stems back from Jamaica, from my dad being a sound man at a very young age.
Mm-hmm.
He was the type of man that actually read soundboards, like boards. He boards. So understanding the tracing on a board
Yeah, you can pan from each camera, doesn't it?
is the first and foremost thing. If you understand the layout and the tracing of a board and how to make it better, then your sound will improve as well. So from there, from the age of 5, my dad taught me how to understand and look at boards, and then as I got older, and how to modify boards and make them work in conjunction with everything that's on the board. So everything has a purpose instead of, diverting and going back around and here to here. I get you to the point.
Got you.
So that's why when I do my mods, it's not just a rotary mod like changing a slider to a pot. Anybody can do that if they know the configuration of wiring, but there's a lot more involved because then you're talking about difference in frequencies. So you may have to use a few separate resistors, beef them up in order so you don't get that hum that you have come through. So there's a lot of factors involved, and this is something that stems from also me building show cars and bikes for a living for many
Oh,
years.
yeah, you had mentioned that, you did show cars. What cars were you doing?
I was doing everything. I was doing 62, 63, 64, 79, anything old school, air ride, suicide doors, Lamborghini doors. I invented Deca doors. That was the most widely sold Lamborghini door conversion kit in the world. That was me.
Wow.
Awesome.
Wow.
Only 10K.
That's it.
You were telling me earlier when we talked in private, you said you had came up with, believe, working in Serato into one of your mixers?
Yeah, so I actually built a mixer that actually takes, that only works off a rotary analog with a digital processor, guys. It can be done if you know your stuff. So it is basically a rotary mixer with its own screen. You have your USB at the back. It also has through-way, so it can also be used as a full mixer as well. Just like, you close your laptop, and it's a through-way mixer after that. So you can play CDJs through it. You can play turntables through it. It still has to be hooked up to the laptop, but you can close the laptop and put it aside. It has nothing to do with that.
Kind of like how Denon is doing their thing.
Correct.
Can I emphasize?
Please
close
do.
the laptop and put it aside forever. Unless you taking care of business and making money.
Well, I know one of the things that we were talking about as well, man, in conjunction, you do some fabulous paint jobs here. For you guys, we held it up for the camera, but for my Facebook Live people, I'm going to pan this to you, and then you guys are going to have to watch us live on YouTube. Sorry. But anyway, we need you to go to the YouTube Live channel and watch us. But this is one of his creations right here. This is a Stanton casing?
It's a Stanton casing. Everything in the inside has been totally revamped. We're talking everything down to resistors, to diodes, your input, your output, your capacitors. These actually come, just to give an idea, the board inside is an analog board, guys. Runs a couple ICs on there. And when you see an IC on an analog mixer, it doesn't mean it's digital. It means that for your headphone, you need to have an IC in order for it to work. It cannot be discrete. It has to have some sort of a digital property in it to give that signal to your ears. Same with digital. When you see digital LEDs in a mixer, does not mean it's digital. It means that it only has an IC to run that particular item.
And you can hear this man is an electronic genius. He's break. It's kind of like, when you go and you talk to a guy from NASA and they say, yeah, so, and you're like, yeah, I remember that.
Heard you were a rocket scientist.
Right.
I dabble a little bit in that.
Yeah, I dabble a little bit in it.
Right, and he's the main engineer of the rocket.
Exactly. So, we got something exciting that we're going to announce. Then we're going to talk with Glenn Underground about a few things. So, the festival 2020, the Music Alliance Festival 2020, be held in a soccer stadium. For you all that don't know, we're getting the DJ lineup together for you guys. Steve will be one of our DJs. Woo woo! Glenn Underground coming back because we got rained on when Glenn first played. And hey, sending out much love and respect for the people that traveled those 3 and 4 hours to check out my guy, play that time, man. And they waited in that rain just to hear this man play. So that just shows you the love, So big shout out to you guys that came out and supported. But hopefully we won't get rained out. What I'm doing this year is we're going to have a rain day just in case. If we get a rain day, then we're going to do it on the next dry day. But we're going to be taking tickets. We're going to be putting out tickets. Anybody interested in getting in a raffle to win one of Steve's custom mixers from Rotary Boutique, you got to enter. We're going to have it up on the Music Alliance website. We're going to have it up on my Derek Smoking Jones page, and we're going to have it on Eventbrite as well. So you guys can get your tickets for a chance to win this mixer. So let's talk about this mixer so everybody can understand what they're going to be getting. So tell them a little bit about this mixer.
So this one here that I'm raffling off is the Stanton. It's just the casing that's a Stanton, so it still has the full kills. It is a 3-channel mixer, full three channel. It's got preamp phonos that I have actually put in there, which makes this thing a beast by itself.
And we do know there's a 7-Eleven cup in the video. This is not Game of Thrones where they got a cup in the video. We do know the cup is there.
A cup from the 1990s.
So this basically, I just took a shell, gutted it, and replaced it with incredible internals. And did a little signature, which I cannot disclose because that is a family passed down from my dad and my uncle to me that cannot be shared.
Just tilt it.
And it's pretty lightweight too. It's not heavy.
Not at all. Super light, super lightweight. You can fit in your bag, in your suitcase, and you can take this basically anywhere.
Got to have a case. Don't be putting as much as that costs. Let's look at that. As much as that costs, you put that in the bag. Go ahead. You got money to play with.
Exactly.
I need to have that kind of payroll where I got money to play with, because that will be in a tough box case with chains around it. Pelican, yeah. Because no, that costs too doggone much to be put in the backpack.
Yeah,
go ahead, you put it in there, but I would.
Yeah, slaving the mix.
Right on.
Put it down.
So, any of you guys that want to enter to win this mixer, and we're also going to be playing on one of his rack mount mixers for the festival as well. So you'll get a full blast of what that sounds like and what it feels like going downfield. I'm excited. I'm glad you came aboard, man. I'm glad that we met you, man. I'm grateful to my man for introducing Glenn Underground, introducing me to you. I was going through a lot of channels actually trying to meet you. I don't want to get in those channels. But anyway, we tried, man. But it happened because, Most High made that happen. So it was destined to happen that way.
And the rack mount mixer that we may use, it very well may be in Chicago already. Not Chicago, but in Homewood. You know where it's at.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So moving forward, we're gonna go on that. But hey, man, guys, if you're interested in winning this mixer, definitely inbox me so I can make sure you get a ticket for that, and let you know how you go about getting those tickets. So give us a couple of days. We're gonna show you how to go about getting those tickets to win this mixer. I'm going to do some other videos and everything like that I'm going to share about his mixers and his stuff very soon and pass the links on to you. But anyway, man, for everybody else that's watching me on my phone, I'm going to finish this and send you all to YouTube. Going back to my regular audience here, man. But anyway, Glenn.
Yo.
You were talking to us about some things earlier. I mean, I know you working on some new projects. Can you tell us a little bit about that? What you got going on?
Well, actually, I just really got back into the swing of working in the studio, and I got some stuff that's popping. I'm trying, like my man here been watching, Steve been watching, and I got some things brewing. But for the the house heads in Chicago and globally, I had stopped for a minute. And there's nothing that I'm afraid to talk about. I had a major surgery. They had to remove my spleen. So I was off from July 23rd and up until about 3 weeks ago. And now I'm pissed in a good way. And
Well,
it's
don't
coming out
be.
creatively.
Don't be,
in the
because you
studio.
know what? I gave you some major accolades the week before last. And that accolade, if you missed that, I'm going to give it to you again.
That was a test gig to make sure I could stand there for a couple of hours too.
This man on TrackSource is in the top 20 as of last week. You're in the top 20 national or worldwide in TrackSource top DJ list. So congrats.
Thank you.
I mean,
Wow.
I saw that 2 weeks ago as I was doing some grocery shopping in TrackSource, and I was like, something said click on the top 20, and then you got the top 50, and then top 100. I hit the top 20, bam, there's GU, and I'm like, what? So I said, let me give him a holler, but I gave you a holler on the air, but I'm doing it again. It's an honor and a privilege to know you, period. I mean, and then you're up in the top 20 DJs.
You're my dude, so it's all good, man.
Man. So big ups to you on that. Keep doing what you're doing.
Trying.
Saw the flyer about Brazil, bro, and I'm like,
I need that in this weather. And we got hit early with the snow.
man, we didn't. It went summer, winter. It was no fall. It was like summer is over tomorrow, and you get cold weather. And then we got snow on Halloween, which they said that dates back to, I think they said 95 was the last time, and before that was like in the 60s. Before there was a snowfall on Halloween. So, yeah, Brazil
nice snowfall.
where power went out. You know, power went out in the western suburbs on that first one. So. But big ups to you, bro, and you know, go down to Brazil as you're gonna do. I know you will. You're gonna represent, but man, Brazil.
Oh yeah.
I might follow behind him. I need a warm break.
You need to come on. See, y'all quote him. Quote Derek Smoking Jones.
It's all recorded. I need a break. I do. I need a break. You know, and I need the warm sunshine. We got 5 minutes, Rob? Okay, I thought you would give me the hand or something.
And I will be representing.
I'll give you the finger, not the hand.
You're nasty.
I will be representing, me and Steve will be representing his mixers in Brazil. A couple at least. We're not bringing a lot. So you guys know, the person that's appearing with me is Steven Aldrich. And the rest of the Facebook world know what I'm talking about. So keep it simple.
So there. Okay. All right. So you're talking about starting a podcast too. What's going on with that?
Yes. It was originally called the Underground Hunter, but you know, certain things come to the drawing board and they get scrapped, and I'm sticking to my original notion, which would have just been me, the real music for real people. That's REEL music for REAL people. And the Real Music for Real People podcast. And it's going to be 3 times a month. Me, I'm just going to be playing records and talking about the records I chose. You know, the reason why I chose them, not mixing them. The DJing will be done by Steven Aldrich, 1 show per month. And Avon, 1 show per month. And the 4th show, we're going to always try to go live. And also, like, say what we're doing now, we would actually do the podcast from you guys' show if it was in that fourth weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I'm going to conduct interviews in between, like, say, Avon do a mix, that's an hour. At the 30-minute mark, we're going to pause, interview somebody that's not known or so well known in Chicago, just to give them, you know, a little push so that they can receive like good accolades and people can check for them.
Oh,
Same
so
thing you guys.
I could get on there.
Yes, we definitely gonna interview you.
I got to get known in Chicago.
we gonna get everybody.
I think every Chicago DJ needs to be known in Chicago because we don't get that.
You know what? I will say this, and it may sound funny, but to the Facebook public and the Facebook accolade seekers that's out here on nothing, we won't be interviewing y'all. We only interviewing real people that plays real music, hence the Real Music for Real People podcast. And it shall start soon, but we putting the shows together. Me, my cuz, and Steve, and that's that. Now y'all get ready. It's going down because we're coming for y'all.
Well, I've told you, and face to face, but the door is always open at the Red Lab.
The European show that's in Chicago. Every time I look at it, I think it's Europe.
I mean, I had some Europeans hit me up on Friday saying, "Where is this at in Chicago?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's somewhere that you ain't coming to." The door is not open for the general public, but for my DJ friends and producer friends, and I call them family, the door is open to y'all. So you know who you are, and come on through and just break some bread, have some drinks, bring your lollipops. If you
Here we
want
go.
to.
He's talking about headphones.
Come out and just have a good time. I've had Rob. I'm waiting on Derek to come, so I'm throwing that.
Send it, yeah. For me, send me, put it in my inbox. My wife is here. Give it to her. And that's really my appointment keeper, for real. And I don't pass friends and stuff off to managers. I think that's kind of like as long as I've known this man here, I would feel like an idiot saying, well, yeah, go talk to my manager. You know what I'm saying? But we know it's people out here like that. But just tell the wife and we get it going. Yeah.
Yeah, do your boy show. Y'all shouldn't be working together every week, and we got to call the government to get a hold of you.
He was just sitting next to me, we working out in the studio, something like that. And the guy says, "Yeah, I gotta ask you about doing the gig with me. Hold on." Then here comes the manager and sit between them while they're on the board. So what do you need? Wait a minute, he's sitting right next to me. You can't talk to me. You gotta talk to my manager. But believe it or not, I know DJs and producers like that, man. And it's like, whoa. You just ate at my house and crapped in my toilet, bro.
Wow. That's a lot of information.
Yeah. Hey, but I gotta call it what it is, man. And Avon, let's talk with Avon. What you got, bro?
Man, how you doing, Derek?
I'm doing all right. Yeah.
Pick a mic. Get one mic.
Without a sucker.
You got one mic.
Moving them around.
One mic.
One mic.
All they need is one.
Yeah, who remember that rap? All right, go ahead.
I'm a pleasure. It's just a pleasure for me to be here. I hooked up with a real positive, strong network. Come from a good family background. Been grinding, trying to build my brand up over the last few years. Crossing over from art, moving more into the DJ side of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
great artist, by the way.
Represent that and tax
yeah.
too.
So it's like I've been an artist my entire life, and I'm a graffiti artist from the city. Crossed that over into painting, tattooing, professional tattooist for 24 years.
I need a gauntlet.
Yeah, I'm your man, So crossed over from the art world, started moving into.
Now you were telling me earlier that, and we only got a few minutes, that you were, before we go to commercial, that you are doing an event or with a partner. You guys are doing something or working on something.
Most definitely. We started a residency at the SMG Movie Grill on 87th and Dan Ryan.
It's kind of dope. Pretty dope.
It's pretty dope.
I was
It's a
there.
nice after work set. It starts at 6 o'clock.
I was there.
You were there?
Vernell Bird.
Bird Nest.
Dion was there, and I went with Rick Johnson. We stopped in there.
Yeah.
Had a couple of drinks, and it's a nice atmosphere. I have to give it to you. Really nice atmosphere. I love the concept because you're coming into a movie theater, and when people are leaving the movie theater, especially on a weekend, it's like, man, it's too early to go home. But then you got music in the lobby.
Exactly.
So they got a big bar there. They got some good food. Check it out. I've been there, so I'm saying the food was good. I had to eat.
And powerful drinks.
And yes.
Powerful drinks, plenty of parking. We got armed security.
Stupid parking. Y'all got stupid parking over there. And you can't.
parking.
There's no excuse why you shouldn't go. And it's no cover.
no cover.
Bam.
Armed security, CPD security. Once you get inside, you never would think you were on 87th Street. And the vibe is turning out.
Hey, what does that mean?
Exactly.
What does that mean? But now I know what he's saying.
know what
You know,
I'm
so
saying.
son. Yeah.
I'm in a city like, man, you know, you would never think that's where you're at. It's just such a positive, loving vibe that's jumping off, and we're very proud of it. We building it from the floor up. We didn't inherit a residency. We didn't have an already made crowd. It's getting bigger every Thursday.
Amen.
And everybody that we got under the umbrella is doing quite well, you know, and we're proud of it. And we're getting ready to move into a new thing that we got coming out, Prescott and myself. It's going to be Sunday Spotlights.
Okay.
Sunday Spotlights will be a 3-hour DJ set by DJs that sign up and come, and they're chosen to come out and play. In that 3 hours, they'll be able to spend whatever way they choose, you know, long as they within that 3 hour span. And everybody gets to come out, but you're stuck in the middle of being either the opener, and you come and your people come and, hey, you played already, or you're stuck in the closing spot and people got to go home and they miss you. So Sunday Spotlights is going to eliminate all of that. You get a 3 hour set to do you. Your guests can come. No matter when they come, you're going to be on, and you play your box.
Okay.
And it's going to be a real exciting thing. We're kicking it out for December the 15th.
This at SMG too?
It's at SMG.
Cool.
Oh, yeah, it is. 10 days after my birthday.
Yeah, and it's still at a decent slot for, you know, us working class people. It's going to be from 4 to 7.
Awesome.
So you still get to home, watch news, take a shower, go to work. It's taking off really well. We're real proud of it.
It's cool.
Amen.
It's one of the better after work type of deals that I've seen in a while. So.
Okay.
Most definitely.
Well,
And
definitely keep us informed about it, and we'll definitely talk about it here on the show. Because, like I said, I went and it was a really good time.
Yes.
And I have to get up stupid dark 30 early in the morning.
Like
so,
most of us do.
Yeah.
You know,
You live in the country.
and that's the thing that's making it take off as well as it is the time slot. You know, because most of us, we working class people. You know, that clock go off in the morning, we feel that.
Yeah.
Being out all night.
I'm still trying to figure out how folks
we feel that.
doing Monday night parties at Celeste. I'm like, don't y'all got jobs? Some of them do, some of them don't. But I'm like, how you staying out to 3, 4 in the morning and going to work?
I remember those days when I was spending a club all night, wake up, you know, from playing and then go back and play somewhere else, and then you walk out the club and the sun is coming up. You say, "Well, it's time for breakfast." Then you eat and you're like, "Man, I'm wide awake now." And then you taking your records out the car and everything, dropping them off, doing that kind of thing. Then you off to the next one, man. But to do that now, your body would just shut down. I mean, because we're getting older, and it's really actually not good for you. I mean, we did some amazing, crazy things as youth back in the day that was just like, when you think back on it, when you get mature, you be like, why did I do that? But at the end of the day, man, we're going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit more. We're going to hit into a mix with me, Ron. Okay, Ron,
me,
Ron Bueller.
Hit it, Ron.
Bueller.
Mummy, mother.
Bueller. All right, so we got to get Ron hooked up into the Rotary, which is also one of Steve's. So we got to get him hooked into the, was you playing on the decks, right? Yeah, so we got to get him switched over. So anyway, we're going to go to commercial. Ron's going to run some things, then he's going to get over there and play, and Rob's going to keep giving me the finger. And I'm going to keep talking with these guys here. Dave gave me the finger, too. He gave me 2. So, all right. Yeah, so there we go. All right, so that was, I guess, what was that? My prostate exam you just gave me? All right, well, no, it was 3 there. So, so y'all want to make sure everything worked. The left, the right, and the center, right? All right, so we out.
Move my body back
it's just funny, man, because like we grew up making this music because we loved it, man. It's our culture, you know. It's embedded in us. We had no intention of like. Many different ideologies on what we felt, how we want to get people to dance, you know, on our dance floor, doing the parties, you know, from like growing up listening to Lil Louis, DJ Pierre, and, you know, all these cats, Ron Hardy and Frankie, you know, and Larry Heard. We just wanted to be, you know, different and relevant to the times of where we came from. We didn't really want to like change what we was doing, and we didn't really want to sell it out to the majors. At the same time, we wanted to profit from our hard work and labors. And you know, through time, many cats have been trying to take our style and change it and call it different names. You know, and you just really can't replace the realness of what we set out to do. You know, you can try to change the name and put money behind it and do like what you did to like jazz and hip hop and what you did to rock music and, you know, everything that we have created in time. But you always still keep coming back to Chicago and Detroit. The real raw essence of house. No matter how simple.
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bozzy. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello.
Hey, I'm Dua Lipa.
Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Loud.
Hey everyone.
This is Salada.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R. What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago.
And this is fresh.
This bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all, not one bill. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hey, we're Fireflies, and we're out here every night rocking out our light show at a forest near you. So come check us out.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.